Hey, good morning, everybody. Appreciate you tuning in this morning. I'm going to do a few more verses out of Proverbs chapter 3 again. So I'm going to look at verses 13 through 18, and we're just going to walk through this. First of all, he says, "Happy is the man who finds wisdom and the man who gains understanding." First of all, this word "happy" is actually the word "blessed." And so it's verse 13 through verse 18. It starts with being blessed. It ends with being blessed. And it's talking about how you're blessed. And it says, the man who finds wisdom. And I've already told you that in Proverbs, wisdom can almost be a personification of God. So you are blessed when you find God. In fact, God has more value for your life than anything, any riches, any job, any kind of security. It says, verse 14, her proceeds are better than the profits of silver, her gain than fine gold. She's more precious than rubies, and all the things that you may desire, cannot compare with her. So listen, God is more valuable. You know, I told you a story the other day, a parable that Jesus told in Matthew about the guy who found the buried treasure, and he went and sold everything he had. He bought the land so that he could have that treasure. He tells another parable right after that, another little story, and it's about a merchant who was traveling the world looking for the most valuable pearl that he could find. And when he finally found it, he went home, sold everything that he had so he could go back and buy that pearl because it had that much value. That's how much value God has. You know what? God can meet your needs better than anything, any way this world has to offer you. He can meet your financial needs better than any job. I'm better than any job, any company or employer can meet. God can meet your needs better, whatever they may be, better than anything this world has to offer. And his value to you is of utmost. And finding him is of the utmost value. He's provided a way for you to find him, right? And that is through his son, Jesus Christ, that you can enter that relationship. And so then he says, length of days is in her right hand, in her left hand, riches and honor. Her ways are ways of pleasantness, and all her paths are peace. So he says, in her hand is riches and honor. It's the ways of peace. It's the word shalom. This word has so many, it's bigger than just peace. We define it as peace, we translate it as peace, but it actually has to do with the well-being of the entire person, body, soul, and spirit. Your absolute well-being. Listen, when you find God, you find the best place for your entire well-being. You find true peace. Peace with God, peace in your heart, peace in your mind. How many of you are longing for that? Peace in your spirit. That's why he can say that length of days in her right hand, in her left hand, riches and honor, because her ways are pleasantness and her paths are of peace. They're of shalom. They are of your entire goodness and well-being. She is a tree of life to those who take hold of her. Again, this just talks about the entire life and about the tree of life. And it reminds me of Psalm chapter 1, where he says, blessed is the man who walks not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor stands in the way of sinners, nor sits in the seat of the scornful. But his delight is in the law of the Lord, and in his law he meditates day and night. And then he shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of water, and he will bring forth fruit in his season, and his leaf shall not wither. And so he says it's going to be like a tree of life. It's going to be like, you are going to be like a fruitful, strong, healthy tree that's living on the banks of the river, that always has sustenance and always has nourishment, so that it can grow and it can produce the fruit and produce the leaves. When you find God, that's when you're going to find that kind of fruitfulness. That's when your entire well-being is going to produce the fruitfulness of joy and of peace and of happiness. And so he just closes it and says, again, he used the word blessed, but it's translated happy in Proverbs. Happy are all who retain her. You're blessed. You're blessed. Knowing God, it's all found in God. You need to find him. You need to know him. It's more valuable to you than anything you could ever pursue in all of your life. You'll be blessed when you do. Get out there in faith today. God bless you. Love you. Bye.